Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. This is Michelle Reads YA, and today I am giving you the worst books I read in 2020 video. So, disclaimer, if any of your favorite books pop up in this video, no offense, this is my opinion. Okay, that's out of the way. So, I read over 150 books this year and narrowed it down to 10 books that made this list, and I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of these books I don't really remember. So if I have a vlog for the books that I read, I will post it up above, but otherwise I'm going to give you like a brief, this is what I remember and this is what I didn't like about it. So let's just get started. I'm going to go mostly in order of how I read them during the year. I just like went backwards up on my Goodreads read of the year. Okay, anyway. So the first book that I have is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. What I remember about this book is that it was a romance and it was really hyped up in like 2018, I believe. So I was pretty excited to read this one and I hated it. It was, from what I remember, this privileged girl goes to Alaska because her dad lives there and he is dying, and then she meets this dude who is god awful, and for some reason she ends up with him and I don't understand. Anyway, like, he stole her luggage and said that she looked nicer without makeup, and that is like not a compliment. I don't know if you know this, but like, don't tell women this because they can do whatever they want. Anyway, I hated it. I believe that my Goodreads review said something along the lines of, this was like a Hallmark movie except Hallmark movies are better. So just really did not like this one. I don't understand the hype. If you liked it, I'm really glad, but I hated the main dude in here. I thought he was awful. I did not see the charm in him at all, and help me understand why he was a good dude. And then the main girl was so privileged and just annoying, and I understand she was supposed to like redeem herself or whatever, but I just, no. So the next book on my list is Odd One Out by Nick Stone. I read this on audiobook and did not like the audiobook at all. I know that Nick Stone narrates one of the characters and that was fine. I thought it was okay, but the story in and of itself was not good. It was super messy, and it was, that's like honestly all I remember. I remember Nick Stone being the last narrator of the audiobook and just being like, what is the purpose of this book? I don't know. And I'm so sad about it because I really love Dear Martin, and I also read Dear Justice by Nick Stone this year and loved that one as well, but I don't know what she was trying to do with this book. It was about bisexuality, which, great, give me that. I want to read about that, but not in this context where there's like cheating and a love triangle and, oh, maybe I'm not actually bisexual. It just, no. So I highly recommend Dear Justice and Dear Martin by Nick Stone, but whatever this was just was not good. So I'm really sorry. No. The next book on my list is another romance book, and that is The Royal Vow by Heather Cox. I should have known I probably wasn't going to like this because my friend Elise, I will link her channel down below, really liked this, and we honestly don't agree on any books ever. Like, when we do, it's a miracle. So she loved it. I did not love it. Okay, so this was, from what I remember, a fan fiction-ish thing of Kate and William, and it's like basically their story, and the whole like story ends in part 1, which was like 30% of the audiobook, and then it just kept going and there was drama, and honestly I stopped listening. I hated this book. For me it was pointless. Like, there was drama, I guess, but I didn't like any of it. So I don't have much to say about this book other than it sucked. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I just didn't like it, and I don't like romance, so I am pushing away personally from romance, but like before I didn't know this, so I don't know what the purpose of this book was. Okay. The next book on my list is The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. I read this as an ARC really early in the year. I know it just came out in December, so I read this in like May, and I did not like this. I don't like Karen M. McManus's standalones. I thought Two Can Keep a Secret was okay. I think I ended up giving it 3 or 4 stars because of the ending alone, but The Cousins did not do that for me at all. I did not think it was very original, which is surprising for Karen M. McManus because I really like the One of Us is Lying like duology. I really like those a lot. So I don't have a lot to say about The Cousins other than it was not what I expected it would be. I thought the plot twists were pretty obvious. I don't know. And a lot of the times I am starving for YA like mysteries, and this one was just like not good. And I know I've seen like reviews come out now that it's been out for a couple weeks and people are liking it, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me, but I didn't like that one. The next one is 100% the worst book that I read this year, and it's my own fault because I was going to DNF it a couple of times while reading it, and I was like, no, it has to get better than this, and it never did. So that is The Betrothed by Kira Cass. I gave this 1 star. I think all the other ones I have mentioned so far I have given 2 stars. So yeah, but this I think was my first 1-star read of the year, and it's my own fault because I should have DNF'd it. Honestly, I was like, no, it has to get better. It has to get better than this because I love the Selection series. I only read the first 3, but like they are still good. I don't care. So what I can recall from this is that, first of all, there was no plot. Holland was a superficial character. She was never fleshed out. She was only described as stupid and pretty. And then this big thing happens right at the end, and I didn't care at that point because nothing was happening. And then this big huge thing happens, but I felt no connection to any of the characters, and that is all on the writing. Like nothing was happening. She mentions like pretty dresses and these big balls and what the like mansion looks like or palace, and then nothing else like moves the plot. So 100% The Betrothed is my least favorite book I have read this year. It is the worst book I read this year, and I have nothing good to say about it. The cover is pretty. That's it. Okay. The next book on my list is one that I read right after The Betrothed, so I was not having a good time at this point. And that is Would Like to Meet by Rachel Winters. This is the last adult romance on my list. Yes. So, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so what I remember from this book in particular is I just looked at my review so I could remember. So this like messy, she's described as like messy and like she's like wannabe screenwriter, helps this actual successful screenwriter make a new movie. But then there's this other character named Ben, and he gets the nickname Doll Dad from the first dude. It's stupid. Either way, all I remember at the end, and this is a spoiler, all I remember at the end is the one dude who's not a screenwriter, like, tells her that he loves her, and they only known each other for 3 months, and like don't know each other that well, and like have never dated. And I was just like, I hate adult romance. I don't like it. So I really did not like this one. And yeah, so I have nothing good to say about this book. I think I gave it 2 stars, but from, you know, what I am telling you right now, it sounds like a 1 star. So it was not good. Okay, the next 3 are part of a video that I did where I read the lowest rated books that I owned. So these lived up to that. The first one is Virtually Yours by Sylvanas Tash. This book was about a girl who catfishes her ex-boyfriend into dating her virtually, and he doesn't know that she's her, and he's just like falling for this girl, and it's her. And then in the end, they break up, and she like finds herself, and it's stupid. I did not like this at all. The catfishing thing was just like, why do you think that's romantic? So no, I gave this 1 star. I will link that video up above. The next 2 are part of that video as well, and they are by the same author. And that is, the first one is Fireworks by Katie Cotugno. This was the very last book that I read. So at this point, I was like fed up with this video because all the books were bad, which is my own fault. So yeah, this book is about 2 girls who get chosen for a girl band. This is like 97. And then they're like pitted against each other, and there's a romance. And what I did not like about this book is that it was pointless, and I hated every second of myself having to read it. So was not a good time. Like, it was pointless. That's it. Okay. And the next book and the last book of that video is Top 10 by Katie Cotugno. This had the worst anxiety representation I have ever read in a book in my life. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, it's not realistic at all. She sounds like she needs to be in a psychiatry ward, and it was not good. It was not realistic at all, and it made me super frustrated reading it. I remember I looked at that vlog a couple weeks ago, and I was very frustrated with this book because of the representation. Also, another thing that she did with this book is she did not go in order at all. So like at one point I went to a chapter and they're in a fight, and then I realized I hadn't figured out why they were in a fight. So I wish that she had written it in some kind of freaking order, and then it wouldn't have been better, but it would have made sense. Okay, and then the very last book I am here to talk about is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I did another vlog for this, so I'll put it up above. I ended up giving this book 1.5 stars, and I am sure that all of the diehard Hunger Games stans will have excuses as to why they gave it 4 or 5 stars, but it did not deserve 4 or 5 stars. This book was pointless. It was a money grab. I don't think anyone wanted to read about snow to begin with. So like when it was announced that it was about snow, it was like, great, okay. It was just 600 pages of nothing interesting. I didn't want a villain story. I didn't care about snow. The only interesting part, I guess, about this book was the 10th Hunger Games, and even with the way things were during the 10th Hunger Games, it was not that interesting. So it's hard to describe unless you've read it, but things are a lot different in the 10th Hunger Games than they are in the 74th and 75th. So you're not seeing a lot of the games. I did not like this. I don't even know what to do with it. Like, it's part of the series now. Do I keep it even though I hated it? I don't know. I put it in my unhaul pile, so maybe instinctually I'm unhauling it. I don't know. Okay, so those for me were the worst books that I read in the great year of 2020. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings with any of these, and I'm also sorry if I couldn't remember exactly what a book was about other than I remember not liking it at all. It's been a long year. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching my video. My next video will be my favorite books of 2020, so stick around for that. Bye!